There are a ton of cars in Cyberpunk 2077, but only a few stand out amongst the crowd as the best cars in Cyberpunk 2077. So today, I'm hopefully going to save you some money by showing you the 5 cars that you absolutely should focus on getting in Cyberpunk 2077 if you want the best rides in the game. Now today we're going to be kind of discussing these rides in terms of not only, oh my goodness.
Got a problem?
Hey, I'm not doing a driving tutorial, okay? We might not be the best driver in the world, but we can still determine what cars are best in Cyberpunk 2077. Now, the factors that are going to go into determining this is not only the looks of the cars, but their speed, handling, and function as well. So I do hope you all enjoyed today's video. And the first car we are going to discuss is this car, because I get asked all the time, what the hell car is this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is my favorite car. It's beautiful. It's amazing. You can crash it all you want, and it just survives. This is the Type 66 Javelin. Now, this is the Nomad version of the Quandra Type 66, but it has a higher top speed of 189 miles an hour. It handles better, and quite frankly, looks a hell of a lot cooler. Now, you can purchase this for $73,000, and the location on the map is pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. Surprisingly, there is a place to eat down here. This is at Jackie's Arch, which is all the way at the southwestern corner of the map. Now, if you're absolutely insane in driving first-person mode while driving, you'll be greeted with an absolutely awesome interior. I really love the style of the Nomad vehicles, and its 0 to 60 speed is in under 3 seconds. This thing is an absolute tank and easily one of my most favorite cars in the game, which is why I use it every single day. Next up, we've got a surprisingly affordable car that is easily one of the most maneuverable cars in the game. I have actually stolen a few of these in the game and fallen in love with the handling of them. This is the Herrera Outlaw GTS. Now, this car is surprisingly only 62,000 eddies. And when you purchase it, you get to see a nice, beautiful interior. I don't know how anybody will ever see it because driving in first-person mode is an absolute nightmare. But, oh, we've got the ooh-woo music on today. Oh, great. That's another reason why this car is absolutely amazing. But this car has a top speed of, I believe, 186 miles an hour. It's incredibly fast, and it's actually a little bit slimmer than some of the other vehicles on the list. So if you're going to be going through any of the tight traffic here in the downtown areas, this is going to be one of the best cars for it, because not only is it slimmer, but it handles like a freaking dream as well. Now, to acquire the Outlaw GTS, it is in the city center, in this location just off the highway. Now, not only does this car have very quick acceleration and it's incredibly fast and sleek, but it also actually has brakes. At its top speed, we can still stop faster than the majority of cars in Cyberpunk 2077, even when they're going slow. So this is definitely a must-have if you're looking for good cars in Cyberpunk 2077. It's cheap, and it's going to be one of your best friends. I do hope at some time they allow us to customize the colorization at the very least of our cars to be able to personalize them a little bit more. Yeah, it's nice being able to purchase your own cars, but it still feels like it's not really yours because you can't really customize it. But now we're going to be checking out another Nomad vehicle because the Nomad variants of these cars tend to be much better than their normal counterparts, and this one is definitely no exception to that rule. Now, the car I'm referring to is out in the Badlands, and this is the Mizutani Xinyan Coyote. This is an absolutely amazing car, definitely on par with the Javelin that I've been using for a while. You can purchase this bad boy for 115,000 eddies, but it looks really cool. Now, this is the souped-up version of its normal self. It's going to have significantly better handling and a higher top speed as well. Now, if you're wondering where this is on the map, it is out in the Badlands, and it's about halfway in between this long strip that goes out into the middle of nowhere. Now, this is $115,000, which is pretty expensive, I'm not gonna lie. But it's awesome, and it's definitely well worth the money. The handling on this thing is just absolutely amazing. Now you might be thinking $115,000 is pretty expensive for a car. And yeah, it is. But with this car, you're getting a lot. And for its price, it's actually significantly faster than many of the cars that are more expensive than it. Now, it does accelerate from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and it has a top speed of 199 miles an hour, making it one of, if not the fastest cars in the game. Now, not only is it incredibly fast, but it is also one of the best handling cars in the game as well. And look at that exhaust, just looking like it's about to melt with how much power is coming out of this car. Now, not only does it handle great on the road, but it also handles great off-road. You can see at 199 miles an hour how well we were able to take that turn. So if you want to do some off-road exploring, you're definitely going to want to pick up one of these bad boys. Having a sports car being able... Oh, no. Oh, no. You got this, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. Having a sports car that can handle that and the off-road is priceless. I mean, look at this baby do donuts. What car in Cyberpunk 2077 can do this? None of them. But this one can. It's beautiful. Now, fourth on the list is the Rayfield Caliburn. This car is basically like having cheat codes. It is so fast, and it handles better than every other car in the game combined. Now, it is expensive at $157,000. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, there is a free version of this that you can get, but it doesn't handle as well and doesn't have the same top speed that this one does, and I'll show you where to get that one for free here shortly. But the interior of this car is stunningly beautiful as well. You know, I forgot to show the interior of the last car. That reminds me. But anyways, yes. This car is amazing. Unfortunately, you don't get it until a little bit later in the game. You need a lot of street cred to be able to afford it. But it has a top speed of 209 miles an hour. It can go 0 to 60 in maybe even less than 2 seconds. And it handles better than every other car in the game. So it's not as skinny as that car that we mentioned earlier, but with the handling, it's going to be able to get through the cities extremely well. You actually have to kind of get used to the handling because it's so good. You're going to find yourself overturning a little bit when you first get into it because of how absolutely responsive it is. It is so nice. And when you unlock this car, you'll probably never want to drive anything else. Now, if you want to acquire this car, you will need to go to downtown, and it's going to be here just next to the bay, pretty much. And it's pretty straightforward to get. Now, we got to get the free version. Now, to get this car for free, you're first going to have to beat the mission with Pan Am called Ghost Town. You're going to head to this location here on the map that's in the Badlands. And as you approach this location, you're going to see that same cave that you go into Pan Am with. And then at the end of this, well, not towards the end of this cave, but while you're going through this cave, you're going to come upon a point where you see this container with the car inside of it. Once you get there, all you need to do is just loot the area. You'll be able to get some information about why this is called the Batmobile, and then just hop into the car and claim it as your own. The interior of this car is really beautiful. It's kind of jet black and green, or it's really like a gray black and green, which is pretty nice. Now, I thought at first that the free version, which is this one, was slower than the one you paid $157,000 for, but actually, upon testing, it is either equally as fast or we can get it even 1 mile an hour faster. The handling is equally the same as well, so there really is no reason for you to buy the expensive one. We topped out at 211 miles an hour. That's actually 2 miles an hour faster than I was able to get the other one. And you can get this one completely for free. I think I only topped out at that because I was going downhill. Now it's at 210, which is still 1 mile an hour faster. Oh, it proved me wrong. It's back at 211. Definitely get this because it's full frizzle. Now, the last car on the list you're going to need high street cred for. This is actually the car that you try and steal at the beginning of the game if you choose the Street Kid life path, and it is a beauty. This is the Electraguinevere. Now, this is the big brother or sister, I guess, to the Batmobile that you get. And it is very expensive at $225,000. It is the most expensive car in the game. This is a luxury item. This is about as luxurious as it gets in Cyberpunk 2077. The interior is pretty nice. It's plain, it's simple, but it's also elegant and beautiful. Now, this car is pretty darn good, but at $225,000, I almost didn't put it on the list because it is very expensive. But I think one of the most important parts of a car is its handling. Now, while this thing is a boat, it actually has really good handling. It's on par with the Caliburn. And the only downside to this is it doesn't go as fast as the Caliburn, but with how big this thing is, I'm just smashing into things. Still getting used to how good the handling is on some of these vehicles. But there are some cars that are really good that are cheaper, but they don't handle nearly as well. And that's a big issue in Cyberpunk 2077, where the vehicles just aren't that good to drive. This one is a pleasure to drive. It is faster than pretty much any other car in the game still, but it is very expensive. So it's for those that really want to have their status symbol in the game and just ride around in style. Now, I do hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite vehicle in Cyberpunk 2077 is, and I'll see you all in the next one.